Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. I'm here with Nichelle, my emotional support treble. She's called Nichelle because she actually has met Nichelle Nichols twice and been held by her. Okay, and she's here to help me with my trauma over the whole Mr. H thing. I'm calling it a thing, it's not really a thing. Okay, so I've been a fan of Midnight's Edge for ages, and I was watching them. Mr. H was on. Now, Mr. H, I don't subscribe to him. He is this white, blonde, blue-eyed, muscly, tattooed British guy. So he's kind of hot. So I've accidentally clicked on him a few times because his thumbnails sort of have the same sort of coloured text as Midnight's Edge, and I've just clicked on him accidentally. Just saw the topic and clicked and like, oh, it's that British guy again. And then because he's hot, I just kind of left him on, but I don't really like his views. And he comes across as a little bit of a Yahtzee. Not that I'm saying he is. Not that I'm saying he is. I don't know him. But yeah, I haven't really enjoyed that. Now, I went on a live stream once because Andre was on and was just chatting and that. But I haven't really dealt with him. Like I said, don't subscribe. But he was on Midnight's Edge the other day, and they asked him what it was like in the UK with the looming lockdown. I don't think it had started yet, and all the huge amount of COVID they've got happening. And he said basically the government's fabricating the stats, and it's not as bad as they say it is. They're just trying to scare the public into locking down and hiding. And he basically thought they were all stupid, and he thought he was smarter than all of them. And he also went on to say basically that, well, you know, it only kills old people and they're going to die anyway, so who cares, you know, get over it, you know, grow up. And I was kind of shocked. Now, COVID doesn't just kill old people, it also kills people with immunity issues and pre-existing heart problems like heart disease, which I have. And the idea that these people don't matter, don't exist, are expendable, that I'm expendable, was pretty offensive. I personally think that I matter and my life matters, and all those people, their lives matter as well. So the fact he was saying that was just really offensive. Now, I said something. I basically just said, oh, so great, Mr. H is a COVID hoaxer. Which actually, maybe I can call him Mr. Hoax or Mr. Hoaxer. No. So Mr. H is a COVID hoaxer was what I said. I was being a bit sarcastic because that's what he sounded like. He didn't actually technically say it was a hoax, but he was minimising it to the point that he may as well have been saying it was a hoax, because he's basically saying it's not a threat, it's not a problem, it's literally being faked. The stats are being faked. It exists, but the numbers are faked, you know, to suck in the people to believe in it and scare them and make them, you know, do what the government wants or whatever. So he immediately responded, which I was shocked by, because normally they don't read regular comments, they just read the super chats, which is where you pay them to speak. And I would never do that. I'd never pay to talk to any of these people. So I was surprised that he spoke. And of course he was punching down because he's in the video and he can respond and talk, but I can't. So I'm in the chats and I'm trying to have a conversation with him, but he's not reading out my comments. He's just having a go at me. So I said, fine, you know, I'm expendable, whatever. And I thought, I'm just going to go make my own video and talk about him. So I did. No one will see it, but, you know, I did it. And I basically said what I just said and basically did what this video was. And then I just forgot about it. And then the other day I was going through comments and I noticed he came up in the comments and I'm like, are you serious? He commented on my video. So I was looking at the comments and there was one guy who was saying, look, I like Mr. H, but I wish people would keep their politics out of stuff, maybe have a separate channel for their politics, but I don't think you should call them names, basically. I said, look, the man said that, you know, the COVID stats were fake and that, you know, old people are going to die anyway, so they should just die. You know, the economy is more important. And they're using scare tactics and things. They were like, oh, basically the COVID lockdown is so evil, it's going to destroy everything, it's going to destroy the economy, it's going to destroy your finances for years, for decades, for generations. Your children won't be able to buy houses. I'm not joking, they were going that far with it. And I basically said that to him. I said, look, this guy is just evil. He's like straight out of the Hellraiser puzzle box. I mean, every video he brings in his straight white male privilege, political, you know, view. And he complained about me insulting him. He basically, at first I saw him comment and I didn't read it. And I just said, really? You're punching down again, basically? Because he's got 260,000 viewers, and he's connected to the Fandom Menace. They're a very close-knit community that takes care of each other, promotes each other. They obviously I wanted to be part of them a while ago. I had a channel before that was deleted that when I got to 1,000, I didn't monetize, but I did want to join them. And I was hoping maybe I could be like a gay voice in their group, because it would be a lot harder for people to dismiss them and say they're homophobic if one of them is gay and can actually speak out against that. So, but they weren't interested in me because I was gay, and because I wasn't right-wing enough, so they never gave me a chance. And I realised, oh, okay, they're that sort of people. I didn't realise, and I was sort of glad I wasn't involved, because I was criticised a lot by people for defending them and referring to them in my videos, and they're saying they're homophobic, they're racist, they're Yahtzees, and I'm like, I didn't think that, because I agreed with what they were saying about the left and all the work agenda and the SJWs and all that. So I didn't really see that they were also they weren't just criticising the left for what they were actually doing and deserved being criticised for. They were also promoting the right and pushing that agenda, which I didn't really get because I didn't watch all their videos. So I basically said, what are you doing here? And he basically said, look, you are misrepresenting me, you're insulting me, you're childish. And I basically came back to him and said, look, you said what you said, because he was saying, look, I basically said, I acknowledge COVID is real. I was just saying it's not as bad as they're making it out to be. And you're doing a lot more than that. No, technically you didn't say it was a hoax, but you minimise it to the point that you may as well have been going through the usual COVID hoaxer responses. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. But then he threw one little nugget in at the end, which I guess was supposed to make me regret, taking him on. He basically said, if you come to me with an attitude of how did he put it? Damn, I can never read my own notes. If you came with me in good faith, I would have invited you to have talked on the chat. And I'm like, bullshit. I've got under 1,000 viewers. I can't do anything for you. So why would you bring me on? That's why you're part of the Fandom Menace, because you want them to help you, get a lot of views, because then you get a lot of advertising, you make a lot of money, you sell your merchandise. It's all about money with these people. And that's what I realised. The reason why I didn't monetize the first time and won't the second time is because I want to just make my videos honestly. I don't want to be scripted. I don't want to be having to worry about what I can say, what I can't say, what's going to go well with the algorithm or the advertisers or whatever, or my sponsors or my base or the people who normally watch my views, because I need to get the same amount of views so I get the same amount of advertising money and all that. I don't want to deal with all that. I just want to talk. I just want to vent. I just want to share, and if people actually respond and I get to talk to them, that's great. I'm happy to have a few subscribers who actually talk and engage. I don't need to have like a big mass following. That's fine. I really don't need that, and that's probably because I'm never going to have it, because the left wings never get it. It's only the right wing that get that, because they are organised and loyal, and the left don't like me either. The left say I'm them, and the right say I'm left, because I'm in the middle and I criticise both. They both attack me, and neither listen to the fact to when I actually support them or agree with them. So it's a bit of a mess. I just wanted to acknowledge that he commented, respond to that, because no, technically you didn't say it was a hoax. So technically you're not a COVID hoaxer, but you're a COVID minimalist, a minimiser. You minimise it to the point that it's basically saying it's a hoax. The government is basically then set it up, but they're acting like it's something that isn't, to fool people. So I was pretty disgusted by that. Now in Melbourne, because we shut down for 112 days. We got our numbers down to 0. We only had 907 deaths. So the UK and the US could learn a lot from us, but they're not. They've waited too long. They've got 50,000 dead. They've got 32,000 infected each day. At this point, they've got around 600 dead a day. 595 was what died today. And when you look at suicide, because his main argument was that more people are going to die from suicide and poverty than COVID. So don't respond to COVID, just ignore COVID, because poverty and suicide are going to be worse. Now, last year, 5,691 people died from suicide, from killing themselves. And that's about 15 a day. I don't know if you spent too much time in the gym, but that's less. 15 people is a lot less than 600. So I know the suicide rates have gone up, but unless they've gone up so much that there's like 600 a day, there's really no comparison. And so far as poverty, this whole, oh, your children will be poor, this is going to affect us for generations, I don't think so. And you know what? At least they'll be around to be poor. Money's really, I know you can't say this to a capitalist society, but money's not everything. You know, I'd rather be alive than rich and dead. I don't know what more can I say to that? But yeah, like you said, I got his attention, I got his reply, so I don't know. But that doesn't really mean anything. What it really means is he knows I'm right. He's been called on this stuff before. He's had a lot of people criticise him and say he's a Yahtzee and all this stuff. So he's been called on this before, and he knows he's right. He knows we're right. So he has to basically go out and try and put out all the spot fires and that, because, you know, he knows we're right with what we're saying. So that's why he's responding to someone as unimportant as me, because he's so triggered by the whole, oh God, they know what I'm on, they know what I'm on about. What I don't understand is, if you really believe this, just have the balls to say it. Just go right out and just say it. Don't pretend behind the whole, oh no, it does exist, but, you know, just say what you really think. Just go full Trump. Just you know, just do it. You'll get more support. You know, you'll get more money. You'll get more clicks. You'll get more views, and that's what you really care about. So just go for it. I just think it's disgusting using suicide in this way, because it is a real problem. And so, as being someone who hasn't left my house since March 16, has had to deal with suicidal thoughts and depression, which I have in the last 7 months, because I've only gone out twice. I went out after lockdown myself on March 16, I think a day or two later, the city lockdown, the first time, and I've only left the house twice. Once on April 28th to get my flu shot, and once like 6 months later or 7 months later on October 28th, so exactly, I think 7 months later, to go to the post office because I had a package that had been there for 6 weeks because I hadn't gone to get it. Now, the only reason why I was able to is because, like I said, we got our numbers down to 0 that week basically, and we're opening up the next day. So even though there was a cluster right in my area, just houses full of people COVID right in my area, they were so well managed by the COVID team and the COVID tracing, it actually wasn't a problem. So I was actually able to go out and go to the post office and nothing bad happened. I survived. So yeah, I just had to respond. I had to acknowledge what he said, because I'm not going to just pretend like you can comment and dismiss him or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, no, you're not a COVID hoaxer. You're a COVID minimizer, and otherwise I'd be calling you Mr. Hoax or Mr. Hoaxer. But you know, technically that's not right. So yeah, but I'm done. I managed to do this in 13 minutes, which is pretty good because the last video was 26, so it's about half the time. So I'm going to go because I'm going to make a video about Trump, because I was going to talk about the whole what's happening with the Trump people and all the supporters and that, because I was talking about that, but I'm just going to make that a separate video. That's kind of how I managed to cut this in half. But yep, feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I'm going to go and continue to be comforted by Michelle, and yeah, Mr. H, just go back to the gym. Bye.